Good morning and welcome back to Grave Magnolias. Today's video, my name is Alma, by the way. I don't say that often enough, but Alma is my name. And today I'm gonna do kind of like a quick little book review and a book haul because I got some things from my local library and I'm still kind of like trudging through this slump. Like I'm reading stuff, but like I'm not fully like, oh my god, I need to read another chapter, which every book doesn't need to be like that, but that's what I search for as I read. And I finally finished a really good book. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then as it was ending, I was like, oh my god, this is like really beautiful. So I really want to share that. I have a little stack here of like a possible TBR. Again, I am not one to just read through a book that I'm not liking. Um, so yeah, let's get started. I have a cup of tea. I think it's berry gold. I need to find a new like regular tea. I think I mentioned it in a couple videos past, but the last box of Tetley that I bought, the premium one, it has such a like an uncomfortable aftertaste. And it's not bad. It's just too much. It's too much. And then the elephant in the room, I chopped my hair off. Um, I've been trying to embrace my curls more. Um, my hair pattern has changed drastically. I guess since having my son and just growth and age and whatnot. So it's like curlier than it's ever been. I've always had like nervous hair. Like the top of my hair could just be wavy, and the bottom of my hair is like the most intense curl pattern possible. And it's just I've been getting so many knots, and my hair's been so tender. And one weekend at midnight, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna give it a cut. And I actually kind of want to go shorter. It's kind of like a bob. I still have my bangs, and I washed it last night, so I put a little bit of product, but I do love it. It feels so much, feels a little bit more me. I did love my long hair. I love how I grew it out. I love how I was cutting it. I'll post some pictures here of it blown out. But in living where I live, the humidity is no joke. And like it was just a lot. It was just a lot, and I just want my life to be a little bit simpler. So anyways, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna start off with um kind of like a little quick book review. So the book that I picked up, I'm trying to go in as blind as I can for books. I was looking through my app that's provide the my e-reading free e-reading resources provided through my library. I will try to link the video down below of how you can read for free through your local library and all the possible programs that they offer. Um, it's kind of I have a little bit of quick story time. There was a patron because I do work in a library setting, and there is a cost for a non-resident card. Every state county is different with this. It's not, you know, it's just the library trying to make some kind of money because libraries are poorly funded, and it's just $10 a month. And I know $10 a month can be a lot for people. I totally get that. I totally get that. While like people can barely get food on the table and stuff like that, but she was like really affronted and offended by it, and she was just gonna, instead of renewing her card, she was just kind of like let it go and then eat the late fee cost. I'm like, fine, sure, go ahead. And then I kind of tried to say like, oh well, you know, you kind of, with the $10 you pay off like half a book. I mean, what's this here? Okay, so this is a new book that just came in, real thin. It's like not even 250 pages. It sells for $17 US. To put in perspective, I also got another book here, and again, it sells for $17. So like, I guess not, that's more than half that it pays for, but it's just kind of like, Um, I don't know. Again, a lot of people like don't really see things like that. Like I've been meaning to get a neighboring county on the other coast. They have a non-resident card for a year for $35, which gives me access to their whole like e-resource database. I'll pay that off so quickly by the amount that I read and the amount that I would save, because I get tons of people that are like, oh my God, I just remember like all of a sudden like the library and I want to get a library card because I'm spending a fortune on ebooks and audiobooks. I'm like, yes, come, you will save thousands. I promise. Because I've seen a growing trend that some ebooks are like really up there, like $17, which, that is your hard work. You want to make as much profit of it as possible because you're trying to make a living, obviously, right? But I mean, like an ebook, you know, it's just kind of, and that whole thing that your ebook could be taken away. You don't fully own your digital media anymore. I mean, that's a lot to fork up for one thing that you'll read once. What if you're not a rereader? What if you kind of like hated it? So I'm like the number one like library card seller. I'm like, oh, you don't have a library card? Come on, let's get your library card. I can do it in 5 minutes. And we have this, and and they're like, oh yeah. And they start thinking, especially when I mention our e-resource app. And I'm like, oh, if you walk, you can listen to a book, a long car ride, or if you go on trips, you can download everything online with Wi-Fi, all your ebooks and audiobooks, and you're set for your plane trip. You're good to go. You don't have to, see what credits you have on Audible and like all kinds of stuff. Or of course, there's always like the thrift stores, and as of right now, books are still in the affordable range depending where you go. So, anyways, so I was going through, I don't know where, well, I did have a point, but you know, um, I was going through the fantasy section of my e-resource app. I don't know what I'm in the mood for, like I do miss like kind of like that quick satisfaction, like gritty, filthy goodness that I used to read. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I'm also chasing not necessarily the high from storing my archive, but just that, like, oh my God, the creativity, the world, and what's going to happen. Like these characters that I'm just like falling in love with. Um, we're finishing season 2 of the live action One Piece, which we're big One Piece fans here. Um, the way we bawled, I like when it started, I was like in tears. I felt like that tightness in my throat, and just that story that built. Like that's what I chase. That's like what I want. Um, so I came across this one, and this was I listened to it via audiobook. In book wise, it's only 224 pages. It's a standalone fantasy. It is by, I looked up how to pronounce their name. I'm not sure what they go by, so I'm just gonna go by they them. I think the name is Vietnamese. I could be wrong. But hold on, I have it up here. If I'm like looking up this way, it's like my gigantic computer. Um, so Nghi Vo is the author. I will also post the picture of the book here. It is The City of Glass. Um, and I'll read you the synopsis because that's what kind of like, that's like as far as I try to go in researching. I mean, I kind of try to look up about the author, what they write in general, and then I just read the synopsis and then I go into it. I have been meaning to make a quick video explaining my thought process in picking books when there's so many to pick from. So it's a demon, an angel, and a city. Oh my God, I don't know how, I forget how to pronounce the demon's name. The demon, Vitrine, immortal, powerful, and capricious, loves the dazzling city of Azrael. Do you remember how to pronounce that? She has mothered, married, and maddened the city and its people for generations and built it into a place of joy, desire, revelry, and riot. And then the angels come and the cities fall. But I don't think that's how you say her name. It's Vitrine. Oh, I hate my brain sometimes, is left with nothing but memories and a book containing the names of those she lost, an angel now bound by her mad, grief stricken curse to haunt the city he burned. She mourns her dead and rages against the angel she longs to destroy. Made to be each other's devastation, angel and demon are destined for eternal battle. Instead, they find themselves locked in a devouring fascination that will change them both forever. Together, they unearth the past of the lost city and begin to shape its future. But when war threatens Azrael and everything they have built, Vitrine and her angel must decide whether they will let the city fall again. It's like constructed history, epic love story, death and resurrection, memory, transformation, redemption, and desire strong enough to reduce the world to ashes and remake it anew. Sorry about that. That was a lot. Hold on, I have the computer here. Control copy. Let's see how you pronounce this, because I like can hear it in my head, but I can't. Hold on.
Vitrine.
Oh, I was right, Vitrine. But that doesn't sound like how they said it in the book. Anyways, it was so good. So it was like really deep. I'm not gonna give too much away. It's not like a major revelation type of thing. So, she's claimed the city as her own. She's kind of like the patriarch, the manipulator. She helps create and guide, whispers in their ears ideas of like, hey, do this. So I'm like, no, I don't want this, and getting rid of things, and kind of, yeah, like the whole chaos and building and destroying type of thing. So then the angels come and they like destroy, like fire and brimstone. It's not like Christianity religious aspect of it, but kind of like angel of destruction. That is what is portrayed. Um, they come destroy her beloved town, all the people that she does keep this book. It's very lyrical, and I mean, it was really beautifully written, I do have to say. So, but she locks eyes. I guess the one angel that asks her, like, let us into your city, and she's like, no. And then he asked her to beg them not to. She's like, oh, would you still go in? And they're pretty much like, yeah, we'll still go in. And she's like, what the heck? But destroy. She's devastated. And like, as one last, and I think she gets destroyed too, but she can't die, obviously, because she's a demon. She curses the demon. No, she curses the angel that was kind of like the leader of this angel group. So now he's like bound to her, and he's like shunned by the other angels. And how she looks is described. I mean, she can like shapeshift. She can be a queen. She can be like a granny, an auntie, and stuff like that. Um, but I also like picture her like really tall and like willowy, and she like creates herself out of what is left after that point. So then just the story continues on of her completely heartbroken of the loss of her beloved city, of her people, the people that she saw and the generations that came after them. And he's kind of like, what can I do? And she's like, F you. They like fight and all this stuff. And he can't, like, he's like cursed. He has this wound, and he's like, he can't get damage, but now he has damage and all this stuff. So like centuries pass, hundreds of years pass, and there she's slowly trying to like going through like that whole grieving process of remembering certain areas in her town and all this stuff. It's really good, really good. I am most definitely going to be reading more of their books. But the one part towards the end, so they finally, and it's slowly you can see that a relationship is blossoming of like she does have like this fascination towards the angel, and they are represented as she and him. There's not like a non-binary type situation here, so it's very clear like she and then him, the angel. um but then she's like, no, he's destroyed what I loved and all this stuff. And then she's also, as time passes and people start coming, she's coming to terms with these aren't what the people that she used to know will be like there's going to be new people, new ideas, new thoughts and everything. And the family that she chooses to help guide through all the generations that come. Some see Azrael as their home, they love it, and she gives it to them, and others are like, no, I want to see the world, and kind of like, well, what the heck? Again, I don't really think I'm spoiling anything. This doesn't have like a huge major plot of who did it or like, oh my God, who's the traitor type of thing. Um, but one thing I want to share, so as even in the description, the synopsis that I said, war comes at the end. The angel had like left to follow one of the last um, living children of the generation that they kind of support on the back end. And war comes. And while she can interfere, I didn't get the impression that she could like fully interfere and like destroy type of thing. I could be wrong. Um, but I didn't get that vibe too much. So he comes and I borrowed the book part because I was listening to it and it's really, really, really good audiobook. Um, hold on. So he comes and she's like crying. She's just kind of like, again, her city's just coming down. And he tells her, tell me I can. Pretty much like, hey, give me permission to destroy, which I got like chills. Um, she takes one thing from him. I'm not going to tell you what. So he like destroys, and then he's like, it's done. And she's like, all right, do you want to be free? And um, he's like, I don't want you to ask me that. And then she's like, what do you want? And while it's not like, okay, there's like obviously like no instant love, but this is like over like hundreds of years of them together fighting and just kind of being around each other and talking and her sharing little bits and pieces about her city to him. Um, so she's like, what do you want? And he's like, I want for you to love me as I love you. Let me tell you, I was like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh my God, it gave me, I crave this. Romance is like my number one thing in everything that I read. I love seeing the process of people fall in love, how authors have been able to create this chemistry on paper that you can feel. I have like, my chest is getting tight. I'm gonna cry. So good. And so this is the sexy scene, and it's not like your average sexy scene. Okay, there's not like, I mean, it's very descriptive and beautiful. But you know, they're kind of two people of destruction in their own way. So it's kind of like if gods were doing it. That's the vibe. Like, so she also has like this special book that she keeps inside of her where she records the names and everything like that. And she's like, I don't care about your name. Come here. So they like go and like destruction's all around them or whatever. And then she finally, after fighting it for so long, I I have I've got chills, okay? And she says to him, I love you so, I love you best. I will walk in you and I will care for you and I will bring the whole world to rejoice in you. I know that sounds like a little bit religious or whatever, but let me tell you, after all the buildup and their interactions over time, and just kind of like, he even says, like, I love you, like several chapters back. And she's like, okay, give me a break. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I just, oh my God. And then, you know, they do their thing and they kind of just, you know, happily ever after type of thing. And, you know, they're, I guess, like in the end, kind of like, let's do it again, or like, let's do this together now. And then there's like a lot of growth for her, of understanding, of letting people go, of people not seeing the vision that she sees or wanting something else in life. So I've got a lot of like life lessons and such, but I have not, this is like besides Stormlight Archive, that's like in its own realm. This is the first book I have finished. Also, Raven Boys was really good. But this is like one of the first books I finished this year that kind of just like, I kind of like sat back and I was just like, wow, that was really good. And it wasn't like a million pages. It's the book is over. There's nothing else, you know? So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It was so good. So, 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 so good. Um, Beautifully written. Amazing, amazing. Let me return it again. I like it borrowing it. Alrighty, so, oh no, I want to be still in there. Let me pull that up again. So I have a lot of books to share. It's actually going to be quite a long video, so buckle in. Buckle in for the ride. My books. Okay, so let me share with you my physical books that I picked up at the library. And I didn't think we were going to get it in, but we got it. I had a new coworker the other day that was like kind of filling in, and she said like, "Oh, we were talking about like what we like to read," which I always get so excited. I'm like, talk to someone that likes to read. Um, you'd be surprised. Quite a few people, I guess it's like when you're around books so much, and then like you're exhausted when you go home. It's like, are you gonna read, or you got a million other things to do? So I picked up one of T. Kingfisher's new books, Snake Eater. So this is the cover. Oh, I love it. So, and it's a quick little book. So I picked that up. I'm so excited. Reads with Rachel here on YouTube. She did a review. I didn't watch it because I didn't want any spoilers, but she loved it. So she does really good recommendations. And then this one came in. It was on the new cart, and it just came in. Was gonna get shelved, and I was like, oh, I think like maybe this would be a cute, like funny read. I could use a good laugh. Um, and this is a senior citizen's guide. A Senior Citizen's Guide to Life on the Run by Gwen Florio. So super cute cover. Again, this is like not even, not even 250 pages. So it's pretty much a group of friends in a retirement home. They get kind of like priced out of their, not assisted living, but kind of like that in between before you go to assisted living. And then there's a murder. And then they're being accused, and they're all kind of like, someone has a secret. So it's like, oh, that would be fun. And then I also, um, that new coworker that I was working, she was giving me some recommendations. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I got book one, Bitten by Kelly Armstrong. And at first I didn't realize who she was talking about. And when I was looking on, again, the website that I used to see what authors have written, what's coming out, and like their whole kind of like backlog, it's called Fantastic Fiction. I highly recommend it because sometimes like looking on Amazon and stuff like that for your authors or like their pages, it's just kind of a little bit much. Um, and I remember this show. I used to watch this show back in the day, and I didn't realize it was based off of a book. So this is book one, um, werewolf. I love me a werewolf vampire type of situation. I did start reading. This is mine. This is from my shelf. Count of Monte Cristo, and so far it reads well. I think this is a pretty good translation. Barnes and Noble's classic. I don't know if this is a retranslation by this lady, Luce or Luce Saint Santi. I don't know, but I thrifted this. So I did start that, and I do like it. We'll see. I mean, this is quite a lot. I do love me a thick book, but I don't know. And then this, I haven't picked it up again. Sinful Secrets by Thea Devine. I don't know if I've mentioned this in a book yet. This is off my shelf. I did put a short out about it. This is going to be the most unhinged thing I've ever read. It's historical romance. I don't even know what time, like, I guess we're in England. Oh no, we did get a time frame, 1880s. Um, yeah, it's like a Eshuel cult type of thing. They get kidnapped and they're getting pampered and trained for this Dugon. was I was reading this and I was like, what in the world is happening? I mean, it does say erotica, so that's always something. But it was quite, I was like, okay, I might have to just enjoy myself with this one because it is a little really, like, really out of pocket and kind of written weird. And one thing, when I noticed this, I really struggled to get through something, but she like repeated a line, the exact same, two page, like a page, and then like next to the, like the page next door type of thing, and it just was really jarring. But I'm gonna read it. Seems like it'd be a fun time. So then the other things, I have a few audiobooks, and I do have an ebook on my phone to kind of just, if like things are slow at work, I can just kind of read a couple pages. So first, I requested it a while ago. I just got it. The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hod Hodgson. I've heard really good things about that, so I did get that. But I'm kind of, you know, I'm not in between a lot of series, but if I start a series, I do want it to be done, so I'm not like waiting. You know what I mean? So that is book one. I'm not sure if it's in a duology or what she's gonna do. Um, and that one is kind of like political intrigue, dark fantasy, epic fantasy. There's like a murder mystery type of thing. There's been a murder. Yeah. Imperial intrigue, cutthroat competition, and one scholar's quest to uncover the truth. So that sounds pretty good. Give that a go. And then I picked up The Failures by Benjamin Lyer. It's dark fantasy, epic, science fiction, apocalypse, post-apocalypse, and it's part of the Wonderland series. Um, so yeah, it sounded good. It's kind of like thriller, crazy. Because I really I've also been craving like some dystopia type stuff, like not dystopia. Is it dystopia? Yeah, I really want to read Hunger Games series. I never read that growing up, so I do kind of want to pick that up next in my journey to read things from my childhood that came out and were really popular, but I just didn't pick up. So, and then next, I have to try out The Curse of Saints, Book One by Kate Dramis. So it's dark fantasy, romance. Let's see. It's kind of like rivalry, betrayal, God-given abilities, dark magic. So, and I think if I click on this, will it take me there? No. One thing I don't like about a feature of our e-resource app, it shows like, the title, the author, the narrator, if it's narrated, and then it shows series, like it can tell you what series is in, and you click on it and it doesn't take you to the rest of the series, which I wish it did. Right? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So it's looks like it's a trilogy and they're all out. So it's The Curse of Saints, and then The Curse of hold on, what book is this? Da, 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 da. And then it doesn't say what book it is. Dang it. Hold on, this one probably. This one? Okay. So it's The Curse of Saints, The Curse of Sins is book two, and The Curse of Gods. So I'm gonna give it a go. See if I like it. I might not, you know. And then I saw someone recommend it on Instagram, and I do love me Kingfisher. I have read like 8 of her books, like so far, besides like that horror one, What Moves the Dead, which was good, but just like not my thing. It was like too creepy for me. I'm reading Hemlock and Silver, which is kind of like a Snow White retelling. Snow White's not the main character. Um, she does a really good job of writing older characters in fantasy. As you get older, that's just something I want. Like Because sometimes, and I don't know why, like a little bit, okay, but then as the book progresses, why can't the young mid-20s character have growth of like, I mean, you're going through some traumatic stuff in fantasy. You're like losing family, you're having to commit crimes you never thought you'd commit, betrayal, and all this stuff. Like, why can't you grow as the book progresses? Like, I wouldn't mind that. And I'm sure it's out there, but sometimes it's just like, okay, you are extremely immature and you haven't learned your lesson. I forgot what. I think that's one of the main issues I had with the Poppy War trilogy. I've have mentioned it many times in my previous videos, and I made a whole like video review about it. Um, but like after all that she went through, I don't know, just I was like, oh, growth, and then it's just like the same mistake, and it just kind of left the bad taste in my mouth. And then a new book that came out, it's their debut. This is the one I'm kind of like reading a little bit on the side. It's called The Red Winter by Cameron Sullivan. Um, um, so it has to do with pretty much, I think it's a folk legend in France of like this wolf beast monster. So pretty much there's a professor, he has a bond with a demon inside of him, and they are going back to finish slaying this monster that they thought they slayed. So it's set in France. It's written really well. It's kind of like written as the main character wrote it, which I've read something like that a couple of times and I do enjoy it. So it's like they're talking to you and there's annotations in there of like what that meant and explaining what was going on at the time because he's like reliving the story and telling you, the reader. So it's pretty fun. So yeah, this video is a lot quite longer than I anticipated. But yeah, I have a lot that I'm reading or trying out. Um, and I highly recommend City of Glass that I already forgot what I was saying. The City in Glass. The City in Glass by Nghi Vo. I highly recommend it. It was such a good read. I really don't think I didn't spoil anything. And I still think you will have the same impact in reading that like declaration of love part because I was just like, oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. That is exactly what I want. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I did also finish real quick Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Rayborn. Um, that's a good that's a good description by BuzzFeed. The Golden Girls meets James Bond thriller and a journey you want to be a part of. So it's a group of female assassins that are retiring and they become the target of the organization that they worked for. And they're trying to get to the bottom of who put a hit on them. And it's told through one person's perspective of the group, Billy. Yeah, they worked for the museum, an elite network of assassins for 40 years. Um, Now their talents are considered old school and they're sent on a retirement party on a boat and they realize they're being targeted. And it goes on from them, like, it's again from Billy's perspective. So it's going back to how she started and got recruited, back to the present, figuring out what's going on. They're on the run and so forth. And it was a good time. It was a good time. I figured out the twist, so I wasn't kind of super shocked. There is a second book where kills well with others. I'm gonna eventually maybe pick it up again if I want just a little something. Um, so they retire, but then they get caught back into action. So yeah, so I did read that. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Oh, it was a lot brighter with that screen on or whatever. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read anything that I've mentioned. I know I rambled a lot, but I appreciate you watching to the end if you do. And I hope you make something amazing and read something really, really, really good. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.